Good evening, guys. Welcome to today's episode of Happiness After Codependency. I'm Marshall Berkshire, and I'm your guide into creating the relationships, prosperity, and peace you deserve after codependency. So I did a video earlier today that did not work. So this is one thing that has actually inspired with since that video, and that is really the topic is cultivating safety during uncertainty, because a lot of us are navigating uncertainty right now, including me. And I just want to touch on this as we move, because I want to touch on this because we're all dealing with it at some level in our healing journey. We deal with it on a daily basis in some area of our life, and I have found this to be extremely important, especially when we're taking big steps in our healing. We are moving into the unknown in some aspect of our life. So really, really an important topic, at least for me. So I hope it is to you. Before we get started, I'm going to get this shared out to the community. If you're looking for connection, you're looking for additional guidance, practices, tools, even experiments and structure and helping you find freedom from codependency and experience more peace, connection, and prosperity in your world after codependency, the community is for you. You can connect with the community by checking the link above on Facebook, below on YouTube. Come and join us. And make sure you check out the rules to make sure it's a good fit for you. Okay. It's dealing with uncertainty, dealing with the big unknown. So, in my experience, codependency, when I was codependent, the unknown was a very terrifying thing. In fact, sometimes I felt that the unknown was a punishment, was a test, was something I had to solve. It was something I had to control. It was something that other people didn't have to deal with. That kind of thing. In codependency, I felt a lot of shame, a lot of terror in dealing with the unknown. The terror came from the consequences that might happen if I screw up navigating the unknown, right? The shame came from having my own intuition, my own insight or sense about what to do with the unknown, and then thinking that was wrong. And then guilt for asking help in dealing with the unknown and navigating it. So my relationship with the unknown was a minefield of terror, shame, and guilt, and basically being alone in dealing with that uncertainty. So it didn't feel safe at all. I was told to figure it out on my own. I was left to figure it out on my own, and if I didn't get the right answer, which really equated to if I didn't do the thing they thought I should have known to do, or didn't produce the outcome they wanted in dealing with this unknown thing, there were consequences. So let me know in the comments below if this is something you've experienced, if this is resonating for you. Because I know for the longest time I tried to control outcomes. I tried to be perfect. I used people pleasing. I used the common codependent tactics of people pleasing, controlling outcomes, trying to prove myself, trying to accommodate things in order to avoid the unknown, in order to try to give the unknown some definition, some shape, some certainty to it. And ultimately, I was really trying to find some safety in handling that. And that's really the wrestle here with the unknown. And we haven't been supported in dealing with the unknown, haven't had guidance, we haven't had shelter, we haven't had love, understanding, care in dealing with the unknown. The unknown's going to feel very, very unsafe. Now, to heal, to discover more about who we are, to actually achieve things that matter to us, like friendships that we really want in our lives, or the type of romantic relationship we would want to enjoy, or the purpose, career, or business that we desire, or the prosperity that we're seeking, or even just the peace, the playfulness, the happiness we'd like to have more of in our life, we have to come to a different approach with uncertainty. We have to build safety in handling uncertainty. And that might sound like a paradox, because how can you feel safe in dealing with something you don't know? This has to do with a concept of external orientation. So codependency fixates itself outside of the person. The person is externally seeking things. We seek our value, we seek connection, we seek validity, we seek guidance, we seek safety through other people, places, and things. We don't really have it resourced or accessed within our own awareness, our own body, our own skills, and our own capabilities. So it's out there. So no wonder we feel scared most of the time, is because we don't have a whole lot of power over critical resources that would actually bring a sense of safety into our world. We don't know how to soothe our nervous system. We don't know how to access and follow our own value, our own voice or vision. We don't know how to discern reality from our own fantasies or from the claims of others. So it leads to a high level of anxiety and fear. And we throw uncertainty into it, and we're like, well, I don't know what to do, right? On the happiness after codependency system, I teach you how to deal with this. In the first place, we start with cultivating safety in dealing with uncertainty. Is to start with the acknowledgement of it. It's uncertain, and uncertainty sometimes is a scary thing, especially if there are consequences that we might have to deal with that are painful, that are intense, or that have a high level of meaning or significance to us, especially if we think the consequences define our worth or identity in some way, or will jeopardize important or precious connections to us in some way. That's going to make that uncertainty very, very intense. So that gives us a hint as to how we can cultivate safety here in dealing with uncertainty. Part of cultivating safety is cultivating reliable resources within ourselves and within our external world. So resources are going to be skills that we have, knowledge that we have, routines, rituals, practices we use, tools that we use, relationships, that would include friendships, romantic relationships, family relationships, therapeutic relationships, communities, these forms of connection we have in the world, along with experience, and then how we talk to ourselves and how we soothe and regulate our nervous system and our emotions. So safety comes with a lot of different parts. And when it really comes down to dealing with uncertainty, one of the most primary tools you have access to right now in this moment is the tool of curiosity. Because there's one thing that's terrified me more than anything about uncertainty, and that is getting the wrong result, right? Because I used to think the wrong result equaled I am unworthy, I am flawed, I am bad, and thus I won't have connection, I won't have any value, and I'll be even more unsafe at that point. So when I was doing my own work in this arena, I shifted it from, what if the outcome doesn't have the significance I'm giving it? What if I remove the significance from that outcome and become more curious about what the outcome teaches me? This shift from the outcome defines my worth to the outcome educates me about my skills and about the outcome, about what's going on, so it can help me do it better next time, reduced the fear of uncertainty significantly. Because now I have a means of which to use uncertainty to my advantage. This put me back in the driver's seat. It gave me power in how I respond to uncertainty, and has allowed me to discover the well-being I have in my life, the peace, the relationships and friendships and the prosperity I've gained, because I got curious about the outcome rather than using the outcome to define myself. So let me know if this is making sense in the comments below. So when you are encountering something in your world, like say a new job, a new relationship, maybe you're dating, maybe you're taking on a new course or a new therapist, or you're going to try something new in your world to heal or to grow in some way. Curiosity. The way you can apply that is like, I wonder what this is going to teach me. I wonder what I'm going to discover about them. I wonder what I'll discover about myself, or what I'll discover about the world. You get open about it. You apply some excitement to it. It's like, what will I learn? And what will I be able to do because of what I learn? So we connect a larger result to it. That even makes it more accessible to us. So the unknown no longer has this predestined doom to it. It's more like the unknown becomes a tool that we can deliberately utilize in our own lives to succeed better in what we're going for. So let's put this in a dating arena. I'm getting to know a new person. I'm scared I'll really screw this up, so I'm going to try to make it right. That would be the unknown factor. Like, I don't know what to do if to make this work out the way I want it to. Okay. Well, what if rather than fixating on that element of trying to get a specific outcome, we can ask a different question? Well, I wonder what I'm going to learn about this person on this date. I wonder what I'm going to learn about me. I'm going to listen to how it feels to me to be around this person and what that brings up in me. I'm curious about these elements of this person. What do they like? What are they scared of? What makes them laugh? Those kind of things. I can ask those questions. We start to engage in a game of discovery rather than trying to control outcomes that keep us frozen in our world. That's one of the big challenges here, because codependency is a strategy that uses tactics to try to create safety, connection, and value identity in our world. And it does that usually through some form of control, either trying to control and shape ourselves into a particular way or the external world in some way. And that's all because we're wrestling with the unknown. In codependency, there is a specific outcome, and if that outcome's not achieved, there's something very wrong with us, or there's a very scary consequence. Outside of that paradigm, when we get to the strategy of happiness and well-being, the unknown becomes the gateway to more happiness and well-being, where we actually are able to build sustainable safety, connection, and value identity in our world, rather than trying to force it to happen. Instead, we get to cultivate it through discovery. So like in that dating experience, you get to discover if they're compatible with you. You get to discover what it feels like to be with them. You get to discover what they experience with you. If you're growing a business like what I'm doing, you get to discover what it's like to master new skills, like what it's like to succeed in marketing or in effective outcomes for clients, and becoming more and more clear about what you do and creating more impact. You get to experience what it's like to accomplish your personal goals in that. The unknown is our ally in our own success, our own prosperity, and our own peace, because that's something else you discover. See, peace, happiness, well-being, these have a lot of individual components to them that are unique to you. My form of happiness is not your form of happiness. My form of peace is not your form of peace. And if we approach happiness, peace, well-being from it has to be a certain way, we will not find our flavor of these things. Instead, we're going to be forcing ourselves into a box that we think should work, and then when it doesn't, we become very frustrated, sad. We might feel shame. We might collapse in on ourselves. We might give up, that kind of thing. Likely, we'll internalize it as there's something wrong with me. Now I've got to fix that so I can fit in this box. Now, this box isn't yours. Your work is to discover what those things are for you. So they're an unknown. The happiness is an unknown. The well-being is an unknown. Peace is an unknown. Your own healing is an unknown. So when we approach these things from this space of, I wonder what I'm going to learn about myself. I wonder what I'm going to discover today about my pain or my joy or my peace. Now you're in connection with your lived experience. You're in connection with you again. And you can use that unknown to help create more prosperity, because you'll have more clarity about what that is for you. And then you can connect with resources and guidance that is more specific for you in that arena. And this is what I teach you how to do in the Happiness After Codependency system. Create safety, cultivate safety when dealing with uncertainty, because we get curious about it. We let it teach us. This is how my students and clients have moved from not having any kind of relationships in their life into having strong friendships again, having romantic relationships that even moved into marriage. I've got a number of those under my belt, I guess I could say, that I've helped them accomplish. I've seen them go from poverty, being stuck in a loop of debt and sorrow and confusion in their careers and their business, and moving into prosperity and creating things that really matter to them because they got curious. Curiosity is the first step we all need to take in breaking free of our codependency and connecting back with our real power, because it opens the door to you redefining what matters in your world. So that's the magic here. That's what I help you accomplish in the Happiness After Codependency system. It's integrating that as a normal practice in your healing and the discovery of who you are, and then in the discovery of your own purpose and your own prosperity and your own relationships in your life. So if you want to go deep on that, come join us in the Happiness After Codependency system, because we're going to start here in about 3.5 weeks. So come join us there. Link is above on Facebook, below on YouTube. So I'm excited for that. Okay. So if you want to integrate more curiosity into your world, my friends, start with a question. I wonder what I will learn about me through this experience. Or I wonder what I'll discover about this thing. Or I wonder what this is going to teach me. I wonder how this is going to help me get closer and closer towards what I really want. Get curious, get playful with it, and let's see what changes in your life. So Melanie says, this definitely resonates. I've never really thought about how the fear of the unknown really drives my codependent tendencies. Yeah. Yep. Codependency is trying to help us feel safe, help us feel connected, help us have a sense of value. And the way codependency and the unknown collide, it's usually going to be about control of some sort, specifically controlling the outcome of either who I'm supposed to be or who they're supposed to be or that outcome is supposed to be. And that creates a lot of fear. But when we get back to the curiosity of what it really is and what we learn from it by going through that experience, now we've got our power back, and we can use that to create what we really want in our world long term. So there you go, guys. Thank you for being here for this evening episode of Happiness After Codependency. Go gently with yourselves, and I'll see you guys in our next episode. Okay? Bye-bye.